When is ministry work ever done? When we are out to save everybody's souls and change the world, when can we ever say we've truly done enough? Ministry workers are particularly prone, I think, to losing the joy of their work because of all the work that could be done, and even suffering burnout. But Jesus, fortunately, tells us that he has a better way. Let's listen to what he has to say to us today. He says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Oh, I love that verse where it says, I will give you rest. Sometimes I just want to go and throw myself in Jesus' arms and have him wrap his arms around me and say, John, that's good enough. But he's not calling us to rest as in terms of inactivity. After all, he says, take my yoke upon you. So he expects us to go work. So what he's doing is he's saying, come to me, learn from me, and then go back out and work in a different way. You know, Jesus evaluated John the Baptist's ministry and his own ministry, and there were not really good results at that point. Jesus didn't like the response that he had from a couple of cities that he had been in. But then he says he was pleased that God has his own way of working, and he was pleased just to be faithful and obedient and to play his part in God's plan. That's all we are supposed to do. Do our part. Do what God has called us to do. Be faithful and obedient. Jesus says he is gentle and humble at heart. The question for me as a leader, and I hope that you will ask yourself, is how gentle a leader am I? If I am driven by results, I will not be a gentle leader until we've achieved those results. And yet Jesus says that's not the point. We are supposed to please God and not depend on external results for our sense of well-being and achievement. The results and the fruit of our ministry are the consequences of what we do, not the goal of what we do. I mean, in a way it is a goal. It's what we ultimately want to achieve. But how do we measure our own performance, our own success? It should be in terms of faithfulness to Christ and his mission. So do what God asks you to do and trust him for the fruit. Results are important. They do, after all, serve as an indication of good stewardship. But be pleased with your results, not driven by them. God bless.